Here's what I want. I want to be able to burn through chord changes like John Coltrane. I want to be able to blaze over dominant chords like Chick Corea. I want to be able to melt faces like Michael Brecker. Today, I want to work on diminished scale patterns to melt faces. So the diminished scale is this kind of magical, symmetrical scale that musicians have been using as a way to create a bunch of tension that is to be released at some point. Before we get into the face melting patterns, it's helpful to know what the diminished scale is. So the diminished scale that we are going to use today is the half-whole diminished scale. Look, I hate talking about the diminished scale like that. Half step, whole step, half step. It's confusing. It's not practical either. It doesn't get us where we want to go, which is the function of the diminished scale. Luckily, there is a more practical way to think about it. Check it out. Let's not talk about it like that. That way kind of sucks. Let's talk about it in a way that's actually functional. I like to teach my students the diminished scale descending. It just makes a lot more sense in the way that we're going to use it. And what I want to start with is also simplifying the way we frame it in general. This is a scale that creates tension. It's a scale that we can use over a 5 chord going to a 1 chord. So this entire session, we're going to be thinking of F7 to B flat major. How pretty is F7 to B flat major on this beautiful roads? That's all we're talking about today. Let's think about it descending. The first way I like to think about it is just in 2-note phrases. Check this out. Starting on F, descending the diminished scale, it resolves so beautifully to its 1. Let's take that up a minor third. Let's take that up a minor third. Each one of these points, one more time. Starting on F, A flat, B natural, or D natural, each one resolves beautifully and evenly in multiples of 2. So down 2, all resolving to a nice, beautiful chord tone of B flat. Play that with me. Up a minor third. Now surrounding B flat, and then down to B flat. Right? So that, to me, tells me more of the function of the diminished scale than this ever could. But we can keep going here. And what about 4-note groups? Let's do quarter notes again. Up a minor third. You know what I mean? Up another minor third. Up another minor third. Again, each one resolving to a lovely triad tone of B flat major. This is where you kind of start to understand the function of the diminished scale rather than just memorizing half step, whole step, half step, whole step, some kind of hard to remember pattern. You can think about it as these little dominant, right? And we could even go all the way down. What if we started on F and went down 8 notes? It's an 8-note scale. Up a minor third. Up another minor third. And one more. How beautiful is that? So that is the diminished scale. So now, if we want to get face melty, all we've got to do, right, is just practice our diminished scale like that. Easy peasy. No, not easy peasy. That is so boring. There is a better way though. So yeah, we don't want to just run the scale. Of course, you'll find recordings of people doing that, but that is not, I think, the most fun way to use the diminished scale. There are 4 major triads in this F half-whole diminished scale. F, A flat, B, and D. Sound familiar? Right? It's the same, those same 4 notes are going to keep coming up again and again. So F major, right? Look at what we have here. F major, right? Same thing, if you start from A flat major, up to B, up to D. Those are the 4 major triads that are available in this particular diminished scale. Then there are also 4 minor triads available. What are they? F, A flat, B, and D. The same root has a major and a minor triad in this diminished scale, and in every diminished scale. There's only 3 of them. But the one that we're working on today has F, A flat, B, and D. Major triads and minor triads. Those are the triads that are available to us. Okay, so now it's easy peasy, right? If we want to get face melty, all we've got to do is just do major triads. You've probably heard something like this before. Let's work on that. No, please. No, we are closer with this, but it still sounds very clinical. These diminished scale patterns can sound like you're playing out of an exercise book, which is what we don't want out of this. We want it to sound musical and human, and so luckily, there's a structure that makes it sound musical and human. So we don't really just want to take these down. Yes, you can, but it's more interesting to mix and match the major and the minor. Let's go back here to our F major triad. If we move all of these notes, all 3 of these notes, up 1 scale tone of our diminished scale. Oh, that's B minor. F major to B minor. Tritone away. F major to B minor. What if we kept going? A flat major, D minor. What if we keep going? B major, F minor. What if we keep going? D major, A flat minor, and then we're back to F. Again, we get every single major and minor. Can we just pause for a moment and talk about how absolutely stunningly gorgeous this little series of major and minor triads can be? Listen to, for instance, just this. Chopin, anyone? It's so, so beautiful, and it's a great way to build in some tension there to our dominant chords. Okay, well, great. So now all we have to do is work on some patterns just over our major and minor, something like maybe... No. We want to practice our performance. So let's think about that from the get-go and not work on it like an exercise. The most effective way to melt some faces and for you to have fun with this and not feel like you're playing some kind of repetitive symmetrical exercise is to group these in little triad pairs. Now, triad pairs are just 2 triads that we join together. Triad pairs. Once you start to get these shapes in your hands so that if you're here, you sort of naturally go up to here or down to there, then you're golden. And then of course there are other inversions, but let's just stick here with our F in root position inversion. Let's break the triad up. If you're on a piano, you can play them at the same time, but let's start breaking them up in this pattern. So we start with the top note, go all the way down to the bottom note, and then back up the triad. Same thing with the B minor. And then we can resolve it whatever way we want to B flat. Let's do that. Play with me. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and. A little bit faster. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and. One more time. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and. Now, so just like we took it up as we were demonstrating the scale, with these patterns, we can work on them up in minor thirds. Again, we're just taking pairs of them. We're not going to group them together in some long, laborious exercise. We're going to pair them up and keep it simple so that we remember these shapes. So let's do A flat and D minor next. How gorgeous is that, by the way? Same pattern, just top, bottom, and then working our way back up. Top, bottom, working up, A flat major, D minor, and then let's resolve it to like, might as well keep that same shape on the B flat. That sounds really good. Let's try it. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and again a little faster. 2, 3, and 4, and one more time. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and again. So we've hit these alternating major and minor. We're working our way up. Let's do B major. We're going to go down to go up here. B major and F minor. Yeah, remember the F minor, that's part of it. So this would be the same pattern. And then we can keep that same pattern with our B flat. Let's do that. That sounds great. So B major, F minor to our little. Beautiful. Try it with me. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And 1, 2, again, and 4. And 1, 2, again, and 4. And 1, 2, again, and 4. And all right, we've got one more here, D major and A flat minor. Again, just using the triads that are available to us in this diminished scale, we're melting faces here. Try it here, D major and A flat minor. Let's do that from our first one. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And again, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And 1, 2, again, and 4. Okay, so now we've got this amazing triad pair, right? A major to a minor. We're literally going up the diminished scale as we do it. But we're not going to do pattern-based at all. We're going to keep them as triad pairs, keep them resolving to our B flat, to our 1. And that's starting on the major and then doing a minor, but we can reverse that. What if we started on one of our minors? Let's start on D minor. And went down. So D minor, A flat. These sound so good. And again, we'll just resolve a little half step down to a scale tone of B flat. Play with me. That's a D minor to an A flat, a little half step move down to the 5th of B flat, the F. Let's try it. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And how beautiful. Again, 1, 2, 3, and 4. 2, again, and 4. Now let's move this down in minor thirds. We can do the next minor chord down, B minor. And right, what's the pair? What's the triad in this pair that's right below it? F major, right? We've already started there. Play that with me. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And face melting. One more time. 3, 4. Notice how it's out, it's in, it takes you in this weird place that sounds uncertain, but also kind of grounded. It's the magic of this diminished scale. Okay, 2 more. A flat minor to D flat. Let's do that. Let's go to the 9 there, a little chromatic move to the 9. So A flat, D, A flat minor, D major. Same pattern. Play with me. 1, 2, 3, and 4. How great is that? 1, 2, 3, and 4. One more time. 2, 3, and 4. One more here. F minor. Might as well do that, right? Try that with me. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And same thing. 3, 4. So those are the face melting patterns. And as you could probably tell, this is endless because you can start on any of the major or minor, but once you get this idea that each of these triads, major, minor, in any inversion, they have a major triad is a neighboring minor triad, a minor triad is a neighboring major triad, and you can pair them up to get these glorious, glorious sounds. That's it. Shred. Melt. Enjoy yourself. Until next time, happy practicing.